So we'll be writing this authenticate method. We will call this authenticate method on this authenticator class from here, and we will also add some code in this authenticate method. Not exactly code, but just the logging. We will write doing auth and done auth. So we are done with our code for this authenticate. This in this controller we have called the do login. Now we will also call on logout handler do logout. So we are just simulating use case a section of a user. So you just do login, do something in between these two, and do logout. We will also write some logs in the logout use case. Done logout. So we are done with our code. Now we are ready to call this controller, and it will generate some logs. We'll analyze the logs and we'll see how use case name is embedded in this. So the basic here, the magic is hidden in this use case logger. It's a wrapper on log4j framework which is used by Java. So it's a simple code written here to embed this use case name inside the logs. So I will just demonstrate. We'll just invoke the controller. We just run the controller and it has generated some logs. We'll just analyze these logs. So you can see there is use case embedding in the logs. This is the login use case, doing login, doing auth, this done auth. So these are written from the authenticator which has the same use case login, and these are written from logout use case. So just analyzing these logs, we can know from which use case they have been generated, and it would be easier us to find the design, the code and unit tests which are related to this use case. So I'm going to demonstrate it at the end. Just before that, we'll demonstrate one another tool, that is a generation of APIs from the code. So here I have written this use case doclet. So this just generates using the velocity framework the API documentation. So what and all APIs are there in class, what they are used for, and all that. So we will also embed the use case name automatically in the generated APIs. How? Let's see. So I'm exporting this Java doc. Here is the doclet name I'm specifying, and I will just press finish. So it has generated some documents. This is the doc folder. Here you can see the HTML files are generated which specify the API. So we will just see this login handler API. So this is how it does look. So the interesting part is this one. So use case name is embedded in this APIs as well. So just using some text search tool, you can just find this phrase anywhere in these APIs, and you can just search those documents, those API documents which are related to this use case very easily. So this is the interesting part. Use case is embedded in this login handler. We'll also see the logout handler HTML. So this is the use case logout. It's embedded. Use case name is embedded in the document. The document contains the methods. Let's logout handler has this two logout method. What are parameters and are there? So this is how the API documentation will contain the use case name embedded in it, and which will be very easy to search. Now the most interesting tool is how to search classes and unit test code which are related to a certain use case. So we have just written this class finder program. It is written on top of a framework that is Scannotation. Scannotation is used for searching all classes which have particular annotation on top of them or embedded inside them. So I've just written a wrapper on top of this Scannotation framework or tool. So we'll just run this and we'll see how it goes. So I'm writing this Java application. I'm executing. So it's asking for the use case name. I will just enter the login, and here's the magic. So here it has found all the test cases, unit tests, and the code which is related to this login use case. So authenticator test, login handler, authenticator, and login handler test. So these four are there. We will also see for the other use case, that was logout. So it has searched the logout handler and logout handler test. So the maintainer's job is pretty much easier. He just has to find out the use case name from logs and just enter into this tool. He will get all the classes which are responsible or which are related to this use case. He can find the APIs. He can run this unit test after modifying this class and be sure like his changes are proper. So this is how annotations can help great searching documents by use case and embedding the use case name inside inside these artifacts from design, code, unit test, APIs, and many other kind of documents. So it would be very easy for searching and embedding a use case name inside this document and making them related to each other by use case. That's all.